What up, guys? We are gonna go through some bets. We're gonna take a look at some of the bets that are out there. So there's no WNBA today, so it's a little lighter of a day. No WNBA. Not many promos either. I mean, PrizePicks has a promo, but we hit it on the last live stream, and I mean, kind of stupid. I mean, you got another 2 weeks to bet this. Dak Prescott over half of a passing yard. I mean, obviously you want to take his over. Max bet size on it is $25. So it's a good promo, but it's just a little bit away. So I've explained this before, other videos. A lot of you already know it. More books you have, the more promos you're going to get access to. So Jock Market's got a promo. You know, you can see right now. Essentially giving you just a free win, right? This is just free money. That all these books are essentially giving you for signing up. So the more books you have access to, like the more money, you know, you're gonna make. So you can use my promo code on Jock Market. It's just Alex. That's my refer a friend code. Take a look, sign up. I gave out a play already for it, but we can go through some plays. But anyways, let's kind of dive into it. So we'll start out on Underdog Fantasy. We hit some plays earlier on Underdog Fantasy. You can see there's a bunch of NFL lines. Looks like Thrive Fantasy has some lines as well. Honestly, I don't know that much about. Haven't spent a ton of time looking at Thrive Fantasy. But let's look for some bets. Let's just start out looking for some bets. So you can see PrizePicks has their stupid new logo. I mean, we wasted a lot of mental bandwidth thinking about that. Damn. We also have some plays for week 1 of the NFL season. So, yo, get excited. We already have a play on Patrick Mahomes, and this isn't any preseason bullshit. We have under 301 half passing yards. This seems like a pretty good bet, right? Where does FanDuel have his line? So, does FanDuel already have ups? Underdog and PrizePicks. These guys post lines so early, right? For player props, so you can see. Yeah, Underdog has his line at 301 half. It looks like PrizePicks. Where does PrizePicks have Mahomes? They have him a bit lower. So I mean, not a huge discrepancy. You can see Thrive Fantasy is down at 293.5. But anyways, maybe we start out with CS:GO. So again, esports, you probably don't watch it because a lot of the games are at like 3 a.m. in the morning. But what's great about it is there's a ton of games. There's like 50 games a day, right? And more games means more surface area for books to cover, means more opportunity for them to fuck up their lines. So if you look at this player, Sonic, right, you can see PrizePicks has his line a lot lower, right? Let's check out CS:GO, right? They have his line at 20.5. So OddsJam, this fantasy optimizer, very simple tool. All it's going to do is point out value in the market, right? Obviously getting under 23. SportsBattle has the line at 19. PrizePicks has the line at 20 half. Finding value in the market, it's only going to help you win more slips, make more money long term, right? This tool is called the Fantasy Optimizer. Just points out big discrepancies in where does PrizePicks have their line versus Underdog Fantasy, right? Obviously, pretty big difference here. So what we can do is let's ignore some of these NFL plays for a bit. It looks like we just added Thrive Fantasy, but so we have this play on Sonic. Under 23 headshots. You can see Underdog Fantasy. This happens pretty frequently. They're also screwing up his kills line. They have his kills line at 41. It looks like all the other sportsbooks have Sonic's kill line, you know, at like, you know, 38, 39 half, 37 half. So PrizePicks is screwing up a bunch of lines. What we can do is actually get rid of the NFL for now. So I love the NFL. We all love the NFL. But there's just like, you know, not as many books post preseason lines on the NFL. So anyways, maybe we just start here. We have Casimir Allen over 16 and a half yards. You can see ParlayPlay has his line at 19 half. PrizePicks has the line at 18 half. So again, there's not a ton of data points. There's not a ton of books posting lines. So let's go here. We got to go back here. So we'd want to take him over 16 half, right? OddsJam just pointing out value in where there are differences. And it doesn't matter what sport you're betting on, right? Finding value, finding an edge, that's how you win, right? So finding these line discrepancies, additional value in the market, that's going to help you beat any sport you want to bet on. So the Fantasy Optimizer pointed out this play on Allen. Again, like, once we take a receiver's over, if there's really good, so there's solid value on Underdog Fantasy right now on Allen over 16.5 yards. So, like, sometimes what I try to do is I try to find a play on, like, you know, a teammate or his quarterback. Maybe there's a play on, you know, the Commander's quarterback to go over in passing yards. That would be positively correlated, right? Like, obviously, on this platform, right, like PrizePicks is a platform, Underdog Fantasy, these are platforms. So we got the Redskins, Commanders, right? These are platforms where, like, they don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So when we can find, you know, a quarterback to go over and a receiver to go over, that's an added benefit to us. And that's what we did earlier on PrizePicks, right? We got Sam Howell and Bryson Tremaine over, right? Obviously, if Sam Howell has a great game, throws over 64.5 yards, you know, Bryson, his receiver, is more likely to go over the receiving yards line. So anyways, let's take a look at some of the other plays. So I thought there would be more esports. There's not a ton of esports right now, which kind of is beat. Esports is great, again, just for one reason and one reason only. What is this? Okay. Esports is great just because there's a bunch of books that post lines. So you can see here, this is on the same player, Sonic. I don't really like these plays when it's just two sports books. Like here, cool, we have a big discrepancy between Underdog Fantasy and PrizePicks and where Jerry Jeudy's receiving yards line should be. That's great, but it's only two sports books, right? We have PrizePicks, we have Underdog Fantasy. I prefer to find these lines like Sonic under 41 kills, where you have all these other data points. I mean, you have 4 other sports books all telling you, yo, you know, they're fucking up their line. So what we can do is we can continue to go through. We could take Mahomes week 1 under 301 half passing yards. That's an option. Jacoby Brissett. No, we don't want to take we obviously don't want to take a Commanders player under in receiving yards. We could also dabble a little lower. We could take Umar. I mean, in general, I don't love to take these plays in yellow, but this play actually seems pretty good, right? So if you check out this player, Umar, unfortunately, this is from the same game, so Underdog isn't going to let me bet it. But if you take a look, right, like his line is 12 here, and then you can see PrizePicks has his line substantially lower at 10.5, right? So finding these line discrepancies, no one's going to win every bet. But finding this value in the market, that's how we're going to win more bets long term, right? We have 2 other data points telling us, yo, this line should be lower, should be at 10.5. Underdog's at 12, clear value on the under. But anyways, maybe we'll take Mahomes under week 1, and that'll be our first pick on Underdog Fantasy. This play on Sonic is crazy good. We have a really good preseason play. And then we're going to have to wait till September 7th for this one, but whatever. I mean, there's no other value right now. So this will be the first play we lock in. And again, you also could have taken Sonic under 41 kills. So only $100, only able to get $100 down. That's the max bet size for esports on Underdog, but hey, that's just kind of how it is. So if you want a jock market play, again, they're running that promo. Well, here, if you want to tail on Underdog Fantasy, I know we got a bit of a wait. We can do a flip play. We'll take a look at flip here in a second. You can feel free to put in the, feel free to comment with just what sportsbooks you want to see plays from. We'll try to focus on them. I've explained before, there's tons of different sportsbooks, right? There's hundreds of sportsbooks out there. Depending on where you're located, you're going to have different sports books, right? WinBet is a sports book I love. I actually think they're going out of business, though, because they're going out of business. But aside from that, it's a great sports book to have, right? Like, if it's legal in your location. And you want as many sports books as possible. More books, the better, right? More books, the better. Because all these books have different lines, you never know where the value is going to be on a given day. You can see the top play is on Hot Streak, right? So Hot Streak is actually a sports book, I use. It's available in California. Depending on where you're located, you're going to have different sports books, right? Different sports books, different promos, whatever. All these books have great promos. So like when I started sports betting, all I did was I ripped these easy money promos, and that's how I built my bankroll. Like, free win. There's free money. So, like Sleeper, for example, this sportsbook here, Sleeper, I've never placed a bet on it. I've literally never placed a bet on this sportsbook aside from doing their promos because they run a lot of good promos and already up like 250 bucks. But anyways, we can take a look at Jock Market. So if you do want to do this Jock Market play, you really want to go with 3-pick uninsured entries or 5-pick insured entries on Jock Market. So let's take a look at DFS. So, you know, again, a lot of people know this, but we always have some new people. You can see in this article, it kind of breaks down how many picks you want to go with on each platform. You know, so Underdog Fantasy, you know, they're giving you a 6x payout, right? We are betting 100 to win 600, right? So you can see here, we're betting 100 to win 600 on Underdog Fantasy. They give you a 6x payout for 3-pick entries. Whereas on PrizePicks, they only give you a 5x payout for 3-pick entries, so you'll never see me place 3-pick entries on PrizePicks. We really only play them on Underdog Fantasy because they're giving you good payouts. So another thing you could do is, like, you can middle bet this, right? Like this play on Umar, especially, you know, good for esports is it can be pretty effective is like, you know, Underdog has his line at 12, PrizePicks has the line at 10.5. Like that's a major gap. You're never going to see that level of discrepancy in like the NBA, right? Where they're just screwing up by 1.5 rebounds. Again, what's great about esports is the market is very inefficient, right? It's very fragmented. You have Underdog, PrizePicks, all these sports books, ParlayPlay, right? SportsBattle. They're all running around trying to set these esports lines. They're all doing it independently, and sometimes their models get really out of sync with one another. And right, OddsJam's just reading in all this data, the fantasy optimizer, just pointing out, yo, here's where they're screwing up, here's where they're screwing up. But what we could do is we could middle bet this, right? So like we could take him over 10.5 on PrizePicks, take him under 12 on Underdog Fantasy. If Umar has exactly 11 headshots, we're going to win both bets. Right? And then if he has 12 headshots, we're going to push on Underdog. So our 3-pick parlay would become a 2-pick parlay. And on PrizePicks, we'd obviously win if he had 12 headshots. So that's one option. Or we could just take the under on Underdog Fantasy, which maybe we do, right? So you can see, depending on the sport, you'll have different betting limits. So if I put in like Mahomes, let's go here. What? Man, did they get rid of Mahomes week 1? I think they got rid of it. They're a bully. So let's go here, and let's kind of take a look. We'll see if we can find any other plays. So we're not going to be able to pair. Again, when you're betting on CSGO, you can't take players on the same team, both to go the same direction. Or you can't take players from the same team on Underdog Fantasy. Josh Allen over 267.5, meh, whatever. Any Commanders players to go under in receiving yards? Not really. So again, like, ideally we can find a quarterback to pair with a receiver, both to go under, but can't find it. But anyways, for this Jock Market promo, you know, whatever, if you want a play to go with, Umar under 37.5 kills, that play seems solid, right? For this Jock Market promo, Jordan Montgomery, over half of a K, right? This play seems solid. So we can go here. Umar under 37.5 kills. Again, I've already bet this. I've already placed this bet for this promo. Again, literally just doing promos, I swear. If you're on these live streams, the only thing you do is bet these promos. You will make over $1,000 a month just from these books, and they're no-brainer promos. I mean, like, this is free money that all of these sports books are giving you out just to sign up for them. This is a marketing cost for sports books, right? They give out free money, free, you know, really profitable bets, because all these books, Underdog, PrizePicks, Caesars, FanDuel, right? All these books need to compete with each other for new customers. But anyways, if you wanted to take this play on, you know, or this promo on Jock Market, Jock Market's available in a lot of states, but what we can do is we can go here and let's take a look at, you know, just some plays with value. So if we go to first player map kills, I mean, it's pretty simple. Even if you don't know anything about esports, these sports books You know, it doesn't matter if you watch every esports game. They're going to have better models, better data feeds for projecting what a player's line should be. PrizePicks is $1 billion company. You're not going to outmodel them, right? So you're going to see this guy, Umar, JockMKT has line at 37.5. PrizePicks is saying, yo, no, they're fucking up. The line should be lower. Line should be 36. So that's a data point, right? Even if you only use JockMKT, you still want to know where's PrizePicks setting their line, right? More data, more information, more power as a sports bettor. So take his under, and you can see it looks like someone just moved it. You can see they just locked the market. This is the sportsbook screen. All the other sportsbooks have the line lower, right? So this is very rational, data-driven sports betting. It's always hilarious to me. People are so data-driven in their day-to-day lives, you know, investing, stuff like that. But with sports betting, people are just degenerates. It's the same strategies if you want to win, make money long term. And again, the reason you want more books is just like you never know which books are going to be running the best promos on a given day. Sometimes JockMKT has great promos. Sometimes it's sleeper, whatever, right? You can see not a ton of plays on SportsBattle. But anyways, we can go back to Underdog. See if there's any more plays. Then we'll go to PrizePicks. I think I'm going to be doing these live streams every day, 5:45 p.m. Eastern, as well as maybe 8:45 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully, you know, some days there's just, I think it's better to be a little more consistent, but some days there may be less plays available. I don't know. Hopefully there's more plays. But anyways, we can go to PrizePicks. We can go to ParlayPlay. Where do we want to start? Maybe we go to ParlayPlay. Well, maybe we do Fliff. Someone asked about Fliff. So what we can do is we can filter for specific sports books. So this tool is called the Positive EV tool. And you can see there's really no plays available on Fliff. I'm never going to force a bet, right? Like, I recommend setting your max odds somewhere around like plus 290. But if there's no value on a book, I'm not just going to, you know, place bets for fun. So you can see there's good value on Hot Streak. Hot Streak, I basically just used it on these live streams. We've turned $500 into almost 3,000, and you can see we ran pretty hot, right? They have a max bet size of $200 on Hot Streak, 200 to 1,022. We hit some pretty big parlays. 1, 2, 3, 200 to 972, 200 to 728. We had some pretty big parlays over the past like week or so. So we ran it up pretty quickly on this platform, but you can see this platform, like all these sports books are slightly different. They work in kind of interesting ways. So if you look at Hot Streak, what's really weird about this platform is they put their odds. So if I pull up a calculator, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know why they do this, but you're going to see their lines are in decimal format. So this is like the odds format of like Europe, and I'm not sure why they do that, but you can see 1.91 odds is minus 110 American odds. So essentially Hot Streak is giving us Matt Olson under 1.5 bases at minus 110 odds, right? And again, I'm not sure why they put it in decimal odds. I don't care. I don't spend that much time thinking about this platform, but you can see here what we can do is take a look and just try to find something to pair it with. I mean, you can also just look at the optimizer. They both do the same thing, right? At the end of the day, every tool on OddsJam, and you know, it's just pointing out value in the market. So what we can do is, let's go to Hot Streak, and we can just set our max odds. Again, usually I put max odds somewhere around plus 200, and we have some videos on, you know, whatever, why that's the case and stuff like that. So Wyland's under 3.5 strikeouts, so we can pair this. And again, we just want to move quickly. I've explained this before. When you are betting on sports, you know, you're really like a day trader, right? Taking advantage of these inefficiencies in the market, stuff like that. So you want to be able to move as quickly as possible. So let's just take an under. Jordan Montgomery, under 17.5 outs, plus 143. Plus 143 in decimal odds is just 2.43. So you can see they already moved it down to 2.38. So some of these lines move kind of quickly. So for example, did they move this line on Olsen on us? Nope, it's still at minus 110, so that's good. But what we want to do is, let's just reload this. Meh. So what we can do is we can take maybe You'll notice too, like, well, what we could do is we could take Real Muto over half of a run. So what's cool about Hot Streak, and again, I know it's not the most exciting sports book in the world, but it's available a lot of places, a lot of states, is they run these promos, right? These odds boosts every single hour. The odds boosts only have a max bet size of $10. So what we can do is we can just lock this in, right? This would be the play to go with, over, under. Well, let's see, where did they move the Olsen line to? Just because they can move these lines kind of quickly. So 1.89, so it's basically the same odds. They moved it to like minus 111. This used to be, you know, minus 110. Where is it? Now it's minus 111. I mean, you can see every sports book, right? Like as sharp bettors, all of these books are data points. They're all pricing this at like minus 150. Hot Streak's pricing this at minus 110. And again, you know, we're only going to be able to bet these odds boosts. So currently they're boosting Real Muto, right? Him to get a run to plus 149 odds. You can see, again, OddsJam is solely a platform that's going to take the bullshit out of sports betting and just show you value. So if you pull up the Phillies game, you're going to see FanDuel has this, whatever, right? All OddsJam's doing is reading in this data and pointing out those few rare spots where a sportsbook's fucking up a line. So if we go to, you know, player runs, where is player runs? To record a run, right? Where is this guy? Real Muto, plus 125 on FanDuel. Yep, you can see that right here, right? So plus 149 on Hot Streak seems pretty good. And again, that's just part of a promo. They run constant promos. So if you look up Seth Brown, I'm pretty sure this is a promo too. And again, not the most popular sportsbook in the world, but easy to make money. You can see they're boosting, you know, Seth Brown over half of a single to 2.66, which is plus 166 American odds. Again, I'm not sure. You can use an odds converter calculator right here. You can use an odds converter calculator. Again, I'm not sure why they put everything in decimal odds. It's very strange, but they do. And you can see they kind of like highlight lines when it moves. But long story short, they do run these hourly odds boosts. So it's really easy to make money on this platform. They're literally running promos every single hour. You know, just like the same way FanDuel has a bunch of different promos, crap like that. Hot Streak runs these all the time, right? They're always boosting different players. Every hour it's a different player, which is pretty crazy. But anyways, maybe there's some plays on Flip. Let's go back here. Let's take a look. So it looks like some of the best plays are on FanDuel. I love FanDuel. I love it, but I'm currently not in a state where FanDuel is legal. It's great. It's a great book, though. I mean, week 1, how about this? I kind of like it. I'm from Virginia, so I'm a Commanders fan, Redskins fan. And it has not paid off to be a Redskins fan. But you can see here, the Baltimore Ravens are minus 110 on FanDuel, right? Every other sportsbook has the Ravens heavily favored to win game 1. Or, you know, to win this game. So FanDuel has no juice. They're saying, yo, it's a coin flip. Same odds for the Ravens and Commanders. Both teams are minus 110. Whereas every other sportsbook is saying, no, the Ravens are the favored team, right? That's what these books are saying. The fact that Bet Online has the Ravens at minus 130 and the Commanders at plus 110, right? That's them telling you, hey, we think the Ravens are favored to win the game, right? They're minus 130. All these books are a data point on where the line should be set. You know, Pinnacle is known to be one of the sharpest, smartest sportsbooks out there. You can see they're moving lines around constantly, right? And they have it currently priced, the Ravens at minus 125. So what we can do is someone apparently said esports lines are dropping. Let's take a look at Underdog Fantasy. Let's see if there's anything. So what we can do is we can pull out, I don't see any more esports plays. So what we can do is we can pull out football. And we can try to just look for esports plays. It looks like it's the same crap on Sonic. I mean, again, like best betting opportunities are not going to last a long time. So if you look at Sonic, we got him under 23 headshots. You can see Underdog Fantasy already adjust to 22, right? If sportsbooks aren't doing this with your bets, that means your bets suck, right? Typically, when you're right, when you're smart, when you're taking advantage of lines that are good, right? It's you versus the sportsbook. If you bet a line and it never moves, that means the sportsbook thinks you're a fish, right? if sportsbooks move the lines in your favor, that's in general them being like, oh yeah, we are fucking up this line. Seems like we should move the line in that direction. So anyways, we can go here to ParlayPlay. And ParlayPlay is a cool sportsbook. So what we can do is we can go back here. What do we like? So if you're a FanDuel user, Brian Delacruz over 1.5 bases. Pair that in a little parlay with the Baltimore Ravens minus 110. And then you got a great parlay going on. You got a your fee bet, yes run first inning, Mariners White Sox, over half of a total run in the first inning, plus 114 on FanDuel. I mean, this is clear as day. Every other sportsbook, most other sportsbooks aren't even giving you plus money, and FanDuel's giving us plus 114. Fucking no-brainer. Hammer this. Mariners, White Sox. You know, you look at where Caesars is, minus 110. That's a data point. You look at DraftKings, sure, they have the Nerfy a touch favored, but plus 114 on FanDuel, clearly really good value. Rational, data-driven sports betting. Take advantage of those bets. So anyways, what we can do is we can go to ParlayPlay. Jamar Chase. Oh, give me a break. So what we can do is we can go here, and we can take a look at some of these lines. So we have Jordan Montgomery, right? His line is 5 on Underdog and on PrizePicks. You can see this ParlayPlay platform. Yeah, they got his line at 4.5. Nope, they moved it to 5. So we fucking missed it. So we missed it. So they just bumped up his line. So what I can do is let me refresh this, and let's see what else is out there. Maybe we can find some good plays. Again, what's really cool about this platform, ParlayPlay, or we also can take him walks, so they didn't bump this. What's really cool about this platform, ParlayPlay, is every single day they let you do this, right? Essentially, you can slide a line. Like, let's say we're like, oh, we really like Mahomes, you know, to go under in week 1 of the NFL season. Every single day, only for a max bet size of $20, but they let you slide the line and get a little more value. So essentially, I can take Mahomes' line from 300.5 to 305.5, and I get 5 yards of additional value on the under, or I can take the over. You can do whatever you want. You know, they don't care. But that will be, actually, let's take a look here. So let's go here. Let's go here. And let's make a little slip on ParlayPlay. So it seems like there's some pretty good lines on ParlayPlay, at least enough that we're going to be able to make a good slip. Pretty excited about that. And then we can go back to Underdog Fantasy. But let's start here. Let's go to the Rangers game. Where are you? So Jordan Montgomery's on the mound. Again, it's a pretty simple strategy, right? Like, as a data-driven bettor, you're trying to make money on PrizePicks, ParlayPlay. It's like there's a few different options you have. The first is find out where they're screwing up a line, right? The same way we took Sonic under 23 headshots, right? Because they're screwing up this line. Every other sportsbook has this line at 20.5 headshots. Or 19. I think SportsBattle had this line right at 19. So there, we found value in like, yo, Underdog Fantasy is screwing up where they're setting their line in the first place. But another way you can beat them is, right, they're a platform where they don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So if you find spots where Underdog Fantasy or ParlayPlay or PrizePicks, like ParlayPlay has Jordan Montgomery's strikeout line at 1.5. The sportsbooks also have the line at 1.5, but they have the over super heavily favored, right? Like Caesar Sportsbook has the over as a big favorite at minus 152 odds. So Caesars is telling us, yo, he's a lot more likely to go over as opposed to under. So that's a great slip. This is a great play to include in our ParlayPlay entry because sportsbooks are telling us, yo, his over's a lot more likely than his under. So Javier Assad, we already included this in a slip. Damn. So there may not be that much value in general on ParlayPlay. I mean, again, there's some NFL plays, but NFL's a little trickier. Just because, again, for these preseason, a lot of it, there's only like 2 sportsbooks posting lines. And again, it really matters on these platforms, you know, how many picks you're going with. So what kind of sucks about this one, ParlayPlay, is for these 3-pick entries, they're only giving you a 5x payout. So ParlayPlay in general has pretty good payouts, but you have to place like 5 and 6 pick plays, right? Whereas Underdog Fantasy, what's great about Underdog is they have really good payouts for 3-pick entries. So all you need to find is 3 sharp picks to go with. It's easier to find 3 sharp picks than 5, right? So that's what kind of sucks about ParlayPlay is in general, I'm just placing 5 or 6 pick parlays. It's harder to find 5 sharp picks as opposed to 6. But anyways, let's go back to Underdog Fantasy. I don't see esports lines dropping. So not enough value to build a full slip right now on Underdog Fantasy. This esports team is the bad news bears. So anyways, we can go back. Maybe there's some value on Fliff. I've explained this before, but a lot of people, it's like, yo, you know, like, why are lines always moving? Why is this a good bet now, right? It's like, just like the price of a stock is changing, new news comes out, yo, the CEO, you know, cheated on his wife, stock price goes down a bit. The market is always absorbing new information. It's the same thing in sports betting, right? Once official lineups are coming out, you know, once the Marlins official starting lineup comes out, that affects the opposing pitcher. Whoever the Marlins are playing, you know, like if this lineup sucks, if it's a bunch of squares that the Marlins are hitting, right, in their starting lineup, then the opposing pitcher, his strikeout line got to move, right? So like books are always, you know, adjusting to like injury changes, weather changes, right? All that is priced into the market, and that's why you see these odds constantly shifting. So you can see Ravens minus 110, Mariners, White Sox plus 114. So you can see here, right? Like Caesars moves around lines, Pinnacle moving around lines, like whatever. You can pull all that up. Ainen Williams over 4.5 strikeouts plus 125 on PointsBet or its sister website, Resorts World Bet. That play seems pretty good, right? So let's go back here. What do we want to look at? So ParlayPlay, there wasn't enough. Underdog Fantasy, there also wasn't enough. I mean, we hit a play earlier, but is there any other things that we really just need to bet? Where can we find some value? So again, like when there's really big discrepancies, what we could do is we could middle bet some of these, but I mean, honestly, it's a pretty light day. There's just not a ton. We can look at PrizePicks. I liked this play earlier. Is it still available? Let's go to NFL preseason. Sam Howell, over 64.5 passing yards. You can see other books are setting his line a lot higher at like 72.5 or 69.5, right? So like that's data points. So what you could do is you could also middle bet this. I said this earlier on the live stream, right? You could take the under on VividPicks, under 72.5, the over 64.5 on PrizePicks. Again, like, it doesn't make sense to a lot of new bettors. Like, why would I take the over and the under? But you can see VividPicks, like there's a big gap between where they're setting the line and PrizePicks is setting the line, right? So you can middle bet this. Take over 64.5 on PrizePicks, under 72.5 on VividPicks. If he has exactly 65, 66, whatever, up to 72 passing yards, you're going to win both bets. So that's an option. And it also seems like PrizePicks is the side that's screwing up. So VividPicks is a new sportsbook. Sonic under 41 kills. I know, but we already bet Sonic. I already placed a bet on Sonic. Underdog Fantasy max bet sizes of $100 per esports player per day, at least for me. So VividPicks is another good book to get, right? Like, it's another DFS platform you can get. They actually have a $250 sign-up bonus. Most of these books, they only give you $100 deposit matches. VividPick, it's $250. Another sports book to have in your arsenal, another book with promos. The more books you have, the better. So you can see here, this is a crazy arbitrage bet. I mean, this is a huge line inefficiency for the games tomorrow. I mean, it really seems like Caesars is the one screwing up. If you have a Caesars sportsbook, hammer the over 9 runs in Angels Reds, plus 114. No other. FanDuel has the over at minus 122. I mean, you could bet the over and the under, right? FanDuel is giving you the under at plus 100. Caesars giving you the over at plus 114. You could place bets on both of these and make a risk-free profit, right? Imagine you put $100 on each side. If the game goes under 9 runs, if there's 8 or less, right? Then you're going to win $100 on FanDuel. You're going to lose your $100 you bet on the over on Caesars. If the game goes over, you're going to win $114 on Caesars. You're betting 100 at plus 114 odds. You're going to lose 100 on the under on FanDuel. You're up $14. So you either are flat or you make $14. That's called arbitrage betting. Again, OddsJam has a tool for when these books get super out of sync, you can bet on both sides of the market and make a risk-free profit. The reason I haven't focused a lot on arbitrage betting is in California, there's not many sports books. So you are basically using these DFS websites, right? These DFS websites, you got to place parlays, right? On Underdog Fantasy, you can only play one pick. So you can't arbitrage bet. Long story short, you can still find profitable bets and make money on Underdog Fantasy, but you're not going to make money arbitrage betting. So let's go back here. Raiders, week 1, 2% profitable on WinBet. But anyways, let's go to PrizePicks. How do we feel about Sam Howell? We could take him. You could pair him with Dak Prescott. Again, this is very similar to the slip I built on the earlier live stream. It looks like PrizePicks hasn't budged lines at all. Derrick Henry over 93.5 rushing yards. This has to be for week 1. Seems decent though. I mean, again, these games are just kind of far away. But again, at the same time, a lot of people say the game's far away, and that's true. But also, the best betting opportunities, they're not going to last forever. Right? They're not going to last forever. So if you wanted to play something on PrizePicks, again, the game's a bit far away, but you can see there's definitely some line discrepancies. CD Lamb, his receiving yards line is 72.5 on PrizePicks. The other books have him 75.5 or 74, whatever. Antonio Brown, over 83.5 yards. So what do we have? So maybe we'd want to take something. If we could find some really correlated slips, then maybe, right? Well, this is for the preseason tonight, but you can see there's some decent plays, right? So we have Anthony Brown over 83.5 passing yards. What's the deal here? No, we want to go to NFL preseason, right? And I got to get rid of this promo. I've already bet it. But if you take a look at Brown, so he's playing Washington. So let's get rid of this play on Sam Howell. I've already bet it. Right, so you can see, okay, the other books have his line higher, whatever. Anthony Brown, over 83.5. Where does Underdog have his line? 85.5. Okay, so these other books have his line higher, so it's maybe some value there. But what's nice is we can also pair this play, right? It's a huge benefit, right? Being able to exploit correlation on these platforms, right? The fact that it makes it easier to beat PrizePicks is if you look at FanDuel, right? They already price in correlation, So for example, if you look at an MLB game, right? So if you have the over, this is a bad example. So if we go here to the MLB, I'll show you a really good example, though. Here you can see there's the same odds on the over and the under, right? FanDuel already prices in correlation. So if you put in the over and we put in Matt Olson to hit 2 home runs, right, you'd think the under is the same odds as the over. So the odds on our same game parlay are going to be the same, but they're not. They're going to be a lot higher if you take the under because they're baking in the correlation for Matt Olson. But PrizePicks, they don't bake in correlation. Obviously, if you take a quarterback to go over, his receiver is more likely to go over. PrizePicks, you can exploit this correlation because they don't change your payouts. They don't account for correlation themselves. So we can take both overs together. Anthony Brown, James Proche the second, both to go over. So both plays have value, right? Anthony Brown, we're not just hitting random fucking quarterbacks to go over in passing yards and taking their receivers to go over. We're looking for spots where we can get value on both the quarterback and the receiver, right? So we're getting positive correlation, and on top of that, we're getting value. And again, all the fantasy optimizer's doing is pointing out that value to you. Just pointing out where PrizePicks is fucking up their lines, or where their lines are very different than other sports books. And again, you have different options. We could middle bet this play on Sam Howell. You could middle bet this, take the over 64 half on PrizePicks, hit the under 72 half on VividPicks. Not a bad option, right? You have an 8-yard middle. You have this 8-yard gap where if he has exactly 65 to 72, passing yards, then you're going to win both bets. It's not a horrible idea, but, same thing with some of these Thrive fantasy plays. So Derrick Henry, okay, let's skip over Derrick Henry. I do kind of like it. I do kind of like the slip we're building. We got CeeDee Lamb. We got 2 NFL preseason plays. Ooh, Aaron Rodgers, over 51.5 passing yards. You can see other books. NFL, they're starting to drop lines. I don't even think I'm not sure if these were out for week 1. It really seems like they're starting to drop week 1 lines. So here we have a 5-pick entry. A lot of overs, but hey, a lot of star power. So we have Aaron Rodgers. PrizePicks is sleeping. Last year in general, I would say throughout the season, PrizePicks just seemed to be sleeping. They tended to be too low on their lines. There was a lot of money betting overs on PrizePicks. It'll be interesting to see what happens this season. But you can see they just started to drop NFL lines for the entire season. There's some line inefficiencies. Whatever. We might as well take advantage of our first PrizePicks NFL bet. Again, you could include the play on Dak. I included it in the live stream earlier, but obviously, if you haven't bet it. Take advantage of it. You don't want to forget to bet it, so might as well bet it now. I mean, all these games are kind of far away, but hey, whatever, if the value's in September 11th, Monday Night Football, what's better than getting an early, 2-week early or 3-week early? 3-week early NFL bet on Aaron Rodgers for Monday Night Football of week 1 of the season. Nothing better. So we can go back to Underdog or ParlayPlay. There are some decent plays. I mean, just a bunch of NFL preseason. Is there anything? Baseball, is there anything for today or not preseason? You can see it's the same plays on Sonic. Meh, right? Maybe we don't want that. So not a ton right now. We can head over to ParlayPlay. Where is their value on ParlayPlay? Anything not esports, not football. Doesn't seem like they've dropped esports lines. Someone said they were dropping esports lines. I don't see anything. So again, you may be like, oh, there's some green on ParlayPlay, make a slip. And it's like, on ParlayPlay, you really want to go with 5-pick entries. I'm not sure what this is. What is this free play? I'm not sure what that is, so I'm going to skip over that. So Boom Fantasy, Fliff, whatever. What we can do is we can pull up the EV tool again. And again, these fantasy sites are weird, right? PrizePicks is technically a fantasy site. Underdog Fantasy, it has the name Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy, they seem like Parlay sports books, which they basically, but they're technically fantasy sites, DFS platforms. So these sites work a little differently than Fliff, right? So, because I have had people ask, yo, why are you placing only parlays? And it's well, they're not parlays, but Underdog Fantasy, you can't just place one pick. You got to pair multiple players together. That doesn't mean you can't make money. It just means, depending on where you're located. So here we have some plays on Fliff coming up. So again, there's good bets throughout the market. PointsBet is a very exploitable sports book, very easy to beat. But long story short, let's just put in some of the books I'm using, which are obviously Fliff. So Fliff is a sports book. It's legal in California, Texas, a bunch of different places. So this play seems great, right? Both of these plays seem great. So we can include it in a parlay. So I'm going to pull up Fliff and just lock this in very quickly. And you will see it on my Pickett profile. So Pickett is a verified public bet tracker. It's another company. They have a nice bet tracker. OddsJam has a bet tracker, but I also use Pickett. So Pickett is just a verified bet tracker. You can see both of these bets are profitable. If both of your plays are positive EV, if both of your plays are profitable, then your parlay is going to be positive EV. So you can see Fliff is giving us really good value here. The way I think about this is okay, data point number 1, FanDuel Sportsbook is saying this line should be priced at plus 152. DraftKings plus 145. you know, like you look throughout the market, it becomes pretty clear, like, yeah, I mean, plus 170 on Fliff seems pretty dang good. And OddsJam's just reading in all this data, you know, these tens of thousands of lines on Fliff, on Underdog Fantasy. Like most of these lines, most of these bets aren't profitable. You're really searching for like a needle in the haystack. Most of these bets suck, right? There's literally, you know, you can see here tens of thousands of lines on each sportsbook, and there's only, you know, a few profitable plays on Underdog. You're searching for, you know, those rare few betting opportunities where the sportsbook's screwing up. But anyways, we can go ahead. We can lock in this parlay. I'm going to lock in this parlay. So I pulled it up on my computer. You may not be able to see it because I have the tab as Chrome, but I'm just going to parlay these together. And again, some people ask me like, or you can play them as straight bets. It really doesn't matter. If a bet is profitable, it's profitable in a parlay. It's profitable in a straight bet. It doesn't matter at all if you play, like, if a play has value, if a play is profitable, you know, then it's good to go in a parlay. It's good to go in a straight bet. It doesn't matter at all. So what we can do is we can take first 5 innings over 5.5 at plus 170. And then we can put in the Padres team total, right? This is the second bet. And again, like I follow a very mathematical approach. Some people don't. It's up to you. Do whatever you want. Never claim that I'm going to win every day. But when you're finding value, right, in the market, no one wins every bet. You go from being a losing sports bettor to a winning sports bettor. You know, instead of being down 4% on your money, if you're finding 8% better odds, you go from down 4% to up 4%. You know, very simple, just mathematical betting. You don't got to be right every time. If you're finding value, if you're finding these inefficiencies in the market, you're going to win long term. So we can go to the Padres under 4.5. Where is this? Team props under 4.5. So the 2-leg parlay comes out to be plus 480 odds, right? So that seems like a pretty good bet. So we can go ahead, we can lock it in. And again, this platform is called Fliff. It's a sports book. It's legal in a bunch of different states. Basically everywhere in the US. I'm not sure if it's available anywhere else. I don't think so. I think basically everywhere in the US, maybe a little bit in Canada. Honestly, I don't know. We'll see if esports lines are out. Oh, damn. Knee kind of hurts. No esport, no new esport. Actually, I lied. Does look like some esports lines are coming out. Not a ton. And again, did we lock in this play on PrizePicks? We did lock in this play on PrizePicks. Aaron Rodgers, over 251 half passing yards. Right? Some correlated NFL preseason plays. Hard not to be happy about. So we want to get rid of football. I don't just want to see football plays. Ideally, we can see some esports plays. So, not a lot. I mean, here's a middle bet, right? Between JockMKT, you could take the over 25 half. And again, JockMKT has this beautiful promo for today. Again, like literally, you could make, I swear to God, you can make $10,000 a year just betting these no-brainer promos. You don't need to do anything complicated. Take advantage. Like, this is the easiest. This is free money. Jordan Montgomery, his probability of getting 1+ strikeout, like, this is free money. If you literally just bet these promos, because it's not just JockMKT that runs these promos. You know, it's all these different sports books. Sleeper, right? They run this promo, it seems like, nearly every day. They're running a no-brainer promo like this, right? This is free money. So take advantage of it. But what you could do is you could pair the JockMKT promo with Corn. This CSGO's player, his name is Corn. You could take him under 27.5 on Underdog Fantasy. What a stupid name. So you could take this guy under 27.5 kills on Underdog, right? You could take him over on JockMKT, over 25.5. If he has 26, 27 kills in the first 2 maps, which is a huge line discrepancy. Again, you are never going to see LeBron 25.5 points on PrizePicks, 27.5 on Underdog. You're never going to see that big of discrepancies. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. So, yeah. Doesn't seem like there's a ton of underdog value right now. But again, like, too, take a look at other sports books in your location. FanDuel always has a lot of good promos. So you can see here, Well, I don't know what that is, but usually they have some pretty good promos. So like on Tuesday, they have this really good promo called Dinger Tuesday. It's basically like free money. I mean, I have some YouTube videos about it if you want to look it up. The way it works is you bet 25 bucks on a guy to hit a home run. They give you a $5 bonus for every home run hit in the game. So in other words, we bet $25 on a player in this game to hit a home run. Like Bryce Harper, you throw 25 bucks on him to hit a home run. They give you a $5 bonus for every home run hit in the game. Most MLB games have, 2.5. I think that's the average number of home runs per game. So they're basically giving you a free $12.50 per game that you bet for this Dinger Tuesday promo. So if you bet every single game, let's say there's 10 MLB games tomorrow, they're giving you a free $5 for every home run hit in the MLB. 2.5 home runs per game on average, $12.50 on average in bonus funds. You do that for every game, that's 125 bucks. Granted, they limit some people to, you can only get a max bonus of $50. You can kind of take a look at the terms. Again, I'm not in a state with FanDuel, so I'm not completely up to tune. But some people, they limit to a max bonus of $50. But I mean, hey, FanDuel gives you a $50 bonus. Sleeper gives you some no-brainer promos. You add it up, and like if you have all the sports books, I've used over 50 sports books since I started gambling. You have all the major sports books, pretty soon, taking advantage of all these promos, you're making, like just for one sports book, maybe they're giving out like, $50 of value per week. But if you have 20 sports books, $50 of value per week is $1,000 per week of free money just from these no-brainer promos. And obviously you could have like hedged this on a different sports book. There's all these different strategies you could implement, but long story short, it's no-brainer, no shit value. So I locked in that play on Fliff. Anyway, someone lied to me about there being esports value. But what we can do is we can go back here, we can take a look. Let's get rid of football quickly. I mean, we locked in some good plays, so can't complain. Can't complain too much. Maybe we'll have to come back on live later. It is a little slow. So you can see meh. I mean, I'm sure literally right when I get off, they'll probably drop a ton of esports lines and there will be a ton of value. But right now I don't, I don't see a ton. Pretty slow. Well, yeah, pretty slow. So we'll call it for now. Hopefully this was helpful. Again, if you have any questions at any time, feel free to reach out to me. I know Michigan doesn't have Underdog Fantasy. Pretty soon, I'm going to be going home to Virginia. And in Virginia, I basically just bet on FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, all these major sports books. And again, if you use FanDuel, look into arbitrage betting. Watch this video. This is how I started making money sports betting. My first $40,000 of profit was from arbitrage betting. It takes a bit to get the hang of, but we have some tutorial videos. Risk-free money sports betting. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? So definitely a tutorial video worth watching. This one. Learn about it. Make some risk-free money off the sports books. And we'll call it a day until the next live stream. Appreciate you guys. Reach out with any questions. My email is just my name.